All right, what's up, y'all? I'm Lauren Tyler. It is May 18, 2025. It is 11:31 p.m. Y'all, so it has been a while since I even recorded an Elevated Convos. Child, I've been working on myself, overcoming things that I need to overcome. But the Lord put it on my heart very heavily today. To fully step into, baby, that hopscotch, that hippity hop, that 1 foot in, 1 foot out bull stuff ain't gonna keep working, baby. And whoever this message is for, it ain't gonna keep working for you neither. It's about time you make that sound decision to step and walk with the Lord full time, baby, because can't be no part-timer with this. Can't be no part-timer with this no more. You've been part-time, you can't be part-time no more, baby. Either you go all in or you're going to get left out. You're going to get left behind. And I'm being so straight up. Lord have mercy. The Goliaths in your life, you have the power and the authority to defeat it. Whatever it is. And Lord, David and Goliath. That's what I'm finna speak on. Okay? I'm talking about whatever vices that you've been trying to overcome, whatever addictions, whatever depression, whatever your Goliath is, and only you know what this is. It is not as big and bad as it seems. That is a scheme and a lie of the enemy. That's cap, brother. You feel, oh Lord, he flexing. Goliath wasn't even that big and bad. I'm finna tell you why. Straight up. So look here, bro. I just want to make that very clear. To whatever your Goliath is, even if you swipe up, keep going, I don't care, baby, what you do. Because I ain't for everybody, keep it moving. There it is. But straight up, whatever your Goliath is, partner, you got the power to defeat it. You got the power to speak to it. Start speaking to it and letting it be known that it holds no more weight over you. It don't got that type of power, baby. It ain't even, nah. All right, so look. Woo! David and Goliath. David was a shepherd boy. He was the youngest of 8 sons. Right? So the Israelites and the Philistines beefing with each other, they was at war. And so you got this big old jack man, swole and everything, right? Goliath. See what I'm saying? Goliath was a lying punk, bro. Goliath was not that guy. The enemy has a way of making something seem to be so grandiose, so bigger than what it actually is, to be more powerful than what it actually is, when Goliath was never even that. And that's not to take away anything from David, because David sure enough did what he had to do. He handled his business because everybody else was scared. And it's in the text. This entire message is based upon 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 1 through 58, regarding David and Goliath's interaction, regarding the Israelites and the Philistines beefing with each other, regarding David putting an end to Goliath. You have what you need to put an end to your Goliath. God has already given it to you. You already got it. You just gotta use it. You gotta stop listening to people who tell you that you can't do it. For instance, Eliab, David's oldest brother. David was the youngest of 8. David's 3 oldest brothers were in this war. They were a part of the army of the Israelites. Okay? So you had Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, right? Them 3. And according to the text, y'all, all of the Israelites who saw Goliath, all of them who were at war, all of them ran and fled when they saw Goliath. Every single one, except for David. Except for David. Except for David. Except for David. And I'll be reading from the King James Version in my Bible, and then the New King James Version online. These are my favorite versions of the Bible. Yeah, I'm just into that. Since I was a young girl, New King James Version is just, I don't know, it's just something about this particular version that resonates with me the most. Yeah, I'm cool with the NIV, the NLT, but the baby, these just touch me in a different way. Okay. So yeah, so mind you, Goliath was a big talker. Goliath was one of them people who be running off at the mouth and then they can't even back it up. Oh Lord, Jesus. Okay, cause we know. Been working on myself. Been working on myself. But the thing is, Goliath is one of those people who got a lot of talk. Who bark a lot. Who be barking, but they ain't got no bite. Not a lick of bite. They ain't got no bite. They just be talking outside of their neck. That's all that man was doing. Literally in the text, y'all, for 40 days. Let me find the actual verse number. Y'all, for 40 days, this man was talking out the side of his neck to the armies of Israel. For 40 days straight, morning and night, y'all. Morning and night, Goliath would wake up talking smack, talking ish to the armies of the Israelites. He woke up every morning talking outside of his neck, talking about how they couldn't defeat him, talking about how he was so big and bad, how he was that one, right? He was that God. He was never that. Never that. The enemy is never that. The enemy don't have that much clout. So the enemy ain't that. All he can do is talk, and make you think that he is, and try to convince you that he is, and put up an illusionary front to make it look bigger than what he actually was. You see what I'm saying? Baby. Okay, so chapter 17, verse 8 of 1 Samuel. This is about Goliath. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle array? Am I not a Philistine? As in, why y'all coming out here as if y'all about to do something? Am I not Goliath? Am I not the champion? Looking at, am I not him? Am I not the champion of my people? And y'all got the nerve to try to step to me? What? You know, so he talking big talk. Oh, he talking cash money, y'all. He talking big talk. But I assure you, he cannot back it up. The enemy cannot back it up. He just like them people who talk. And he get swung on and they ain't really talking much no more. Okay, let me not get beside myself, Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. But Goliath was one of those type of people. Straight up. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Goliath was not that. Neither are your vices. Your vices, anything, your addictions, the things that you have been seemingly stuck to. You've been trying to get out, but you keep slipping back in. You've been trying to get out, but you keep slipping back in. You've been trying to get out, and the enemy is trying to convince you with this talk, that you can never defeat him. Talk, that you can never overcome him. Talk, that you can never cast him down. He knows it ain't true. All he can do is lie and try to deceive you into believing that you ain't got no power and that you can't do nothing. Because let me tell you, Goliath was successful when it came to all the other soldiers up in that army. All of them fled when they saw Goliath. Even King Saul, when he heard what Goliath was talking about the side of his neck. King Saul was like, hey, look, bro, whoever take this man out, I'm gonna give you abundant riches. Hey, you'll be rich forever, shawty. I give you all the gold. I give you all the gold you can get. Hey, you can have my daughter. You can have my child. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she's a lovely little catch. Let's not even get into that. How women literally didn't even have any rights or any ownership over their own selves, over their own bodies, over that. Lord, that's a different type of conversation y'all ain't ready for. But it don't matter if you're ready for it or not, because it's coming. He was like, you and your household gonna live tax-free. Like I said, it's in the text, y'all. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 1 through 58. Right? Straight up. Goliath even had the king shook. The king was shook, shawty. And it's the king. To anybody who know the king be thinking that they the top kahuna, that they the big one, that they the big god or something. Goliath had the king shook. Goliath had all them armies shook. But Goliath didn't have David shook. Because David knew the Lord. And David not only knew the Lord, he knew and remembered what the Lord done did for him in the past. David knew, like, yo, one time when I was watching my father's sheep and them, it was a lion who came up and tried to eat them, and I had to lot. You know what I'm saying? It was a bear who came up out of nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Had to fight him off with my bare hand, put him in a chokehold, pull his beard, lit him up. David already knew what God done did for him. David knew that he could defeat Goliath. So let me tell y'all, Lord, David's father sends him to where the armies of where the Israelites were. And his father sent David to give the army of the Israelites food. He gave David bread, 10 loaves of bread. He gave David cheese. He gave David sustenance to give to the soldiers who were at war with the Philistines. And when David gets there, you know, he gives them the bread and all that. But then David hears something. He hears Goliath talking out the side of his neck, bro. He hears Goliath talking out the side of his neck, bro. He hears this man. And guess what David did when he heard him? Because look, chapter 17, verse 11. When Saul and all of Israel heard those words of the Philistine, Goliath, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Right? They were afraid. David was not. David literally said to the other soldiers, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Like, who is this man talking outside of his neck? Like, bro. Hey, bro, like, who is this? Who is this man? Like, straight up, like, he needs to be shut up and shut down, bro. Who is this man? To even think that he can come up and stand up against the army of the Most High God. Who is this man? That's what you need to say to your Goliaths in your life. Huh? What is this depression that's trying to get me to kill myself? What is this addiction? Who does this vice think he or she is? And I mean that in a sense of placing whatever it is that you're going through, whatever obstacle that you've been literally facing for so long, that's been trying to convince you that you can't overcome it. You need to acknowledge that and be like, yo, first of all, who the F do you think you are to even say some stuff like that to me? David acknowledged that Goliath was talking out the side of his neck about the people of God. He was straight up like, who is this? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, bro. Because I can't stand for this. Wait a minute, nah. Y'all might be scared. Y'all might be sitting around fleeing and running every time you see Goliath. Because that man literally would come out for 40 days, y'all. 40 days. Verse 16. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days to the armies of Israel. Y'all, every day, morning and night, Goliath Goliath will be talking out the side of his neck to the people of Israel, saying all this, that y'all can't defeat me. You will never be able to kill me. I'm going to overpower y'all. Y'all going to become our slaves. Y'all will be our servants. Hey, yo, send somebody down to battle me. And when I'm done whooping his ass, all y'all going to belong to us. All y'all going to be our slaves. Now imagine your vice telling you that. Imagine an addiction telling you that. Day after day after day. That you can't get over. Imagine the enemy putting it in your mind. And matter of fact, to the people who I'm speaking to, you don't have to imagine because you've been dealing with it. I don't have to imagine because since I was a child, I've been dealing with it. Since middle school, dealing with depression, with anxiety, in and out of therapy since 16. Enemy has literally been trying to convince me since my youth that I would be stuck in a my tongue, Lord, that I would be stuck in an effed up season. I'm going to just be straight up. That I would be stuck in my wilderness, that I would die there. That I would die in my wilderness. So why even try? You might as well give up and just give in because you're not going to be able to overcome it. You're going to die. You can't defeat me. That's lying. Woo! Those are lies. Don't let the enemy finesse you. When they ain't even big and bad like that, I assure you they ain't. I assure you Goliath was not. And you're about to find out why he wasn't. Why a little jit like David, the youngest of them all, was able to cast him down. Not through his own might, but through the power of the Lord, which he made very clear. That it will be because of the Lord that you will fall. It will be because of the Lord that I'm going to have your head. The Lord is going to serve me your head. Shout it. David is speaking truth over the lies that the enemy is telling all of them. There's much to learn from this version of David. The one who was bold enough to even say, you know what? I can. And truly believe, like, I know I can slay that man. I know I can slay this demon. I know I can overpower and destroy something that's trying to destroy God's people, something that's trying to destroy God's child. You have the power in Jesus' name. You have the power because of the Most High God to kill whatever Goliath is in your life. You have the power to do that. And you've always had it. You don't need nobody's permission. You don't need somebody else to believe that you can. Because guess what? David's older brother didn't. Eliab, the oldest one, was in the army. But guess what? Eliab himself was scared. 3 of David's brothers were there. Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah. All 3 of them, they were scared too. Because guess what? It said all of the Israelite soldiers, all of the armies of Israelites, whenever they saw Goliath, they would flee. They would flee. They were scared of that man. They were scared of the illusion of how big he was. They were scared at the sight of him, at the sound of the things that Goliath was telling them. They allowed it to get to them and to convince them that they couldn't face him. Don't allow the enemy to finesse you like that. Because they ain't got no type of strength, not for real, nah, bro. They don't have the authority like you got the authority. Because God gave you that. Stop allowing your Goliaths to talk that talk. It's time to learn how to shut Goliaths up in your life. It's time for you to step to your Goliaths because you have the power to knock them down. And that's straight up. What? All right. Look, bro. Woo! Goliath think he's so big and bad. He talking about verse 9. Matter of fact, give me verse 8. Woo! He's saying, choose you a man and let him come down to me. So choose any one of y'all. The biggest one, the baddest one, come face me, right? And if I win, y'all gonna be our servants, right? And if y'all win somehow, some way, ain't gonna happen, right? Then we'll be y'all servants. Goliath out here making bets. Like, hey, yo, I bet you that anybody you put up to me, I'ma F him up, right? He talking a good game, but he ain't really about it. First of all, Goliath literally had a man who would go before him, bro. Goliath had a bodyguard. Goliath had a bodyguard. Baby, Goliath had a bodyguard. Oh my goodness. Verse 7. Goliath had a staff, and his spear was like a weaver's beam. His spear weighed 600 shekels of iron. So he had big top dog type armor, bro. He had a sword. He had a spear. Bro had a javelin. Bro had like 3 weapons on him, including a helmet of bronze. He was bronzed out. He had all the armor to protect him, right? I ain't gonna cap, bro. If you really that big and bad, first of all, what you need all that armor for? Like, you may be like, oh, well, it's a war. Nah, bro. If you really that tough, if you really that big and bad, what you need all that for? Because if you really was that guy, you wouldn't even need all that. Because David is finna prove that. David didn't need all that. David literally turned down and gave back the king's armor. Because David's like, oh, yo, that's not tested. That's not sure. I don't even think that's of God. Basically, that's what David's saying. Like, yo, I don't need man's armor. I got the armor of God. I don't need the armor of man. The armor of man could have slowed David down. The armor of man could have jacked up what God actually had planned. David tried on the armor that the king gave him after he finally convinced the king that he could face David. So we're talking about an environment of people who are shook, who scared. But you that one. You are that one. Just how I am that one. Surrounded by people so fucking scared. For what? Of what? Of what? For what? For why? Tell me why. Oh, you scared you're gonna die? Guess what, baby? Hate to spoil the ending, but physically we're all gonna die and leave this earth. So what you really scared of, baby? You need to be scared of when you die and leave this earth, where you gonna go afterwards. Because it's not one person physically who gonna make it about this thing physically alive. Duh. Name one person. Like, straight up. Of course, other than the Most High God, Jesus Christ, when he come back. Come on, man. Stop it. David was surrounded by naysayers. Eliab tried to tell David to go back, leave. Why are you here? Literally said, why are you here, to his own brother? King Saul literally told David, you a legit. You of the youth, bro. You a legit. You can't face Goliath. Other people projecting their fears onto you. Other people projecting their thoughts, their beliefs, their fears, their doubts, their confusion, their uneasiness onto David. People projecting that onto you. Stop allowing people to project that onto you. And let it be known, nah, I'm not listening to that. Because I know what God got me out of. I know behind the scenes, baby, you weren't there. You don't know the battles that I had to face. You don't know the shit that I done been through. You don't know what the Lord done brought me out of. You don't know who I am. They ain't know who David was. And the people who've been around you, they don't know that you that one. Or maybe they do know, and they're still scared. Or maybe they do know, and they don't want you to succeed. Because guess what? King Saul didn't want David to succeed. Because David is eventually going to take King Saul's place as king. So just because people see your light, don't mean that they want it to shine. Just because people see your light, doesn't mean they want it to be amplified. People have seen my light and tried to fucking take it out. Woo! Don't allow scary people, huh? Don't allow doubtful people, huh? Don't allow people who can't see what God done gave you. And God gave you a vision and told you that you are capable. Why would you listen to anybody else when the one who created you himself done told you and made it clear to you that I am with you and I got you and I told you that you got the power in you? Why on earth do we decide to listen to man instead of listening to God? That's gotta stop. I gotta stop that. I'm working on stopping that. And whomever you are, we are connected. Because you will see this, Lord, have mercy. You gotta stop allowing people speaking bulls over you. They're speaking negativity over you. They're speaking their doubts over you. You need to learn how to shut them up and silence them out. You gotta have selective hearing. In this season, you need selective hearing. You need to learn to selectivify your hearing. Because you can't listen to everybody. You can't listen to everybody. You can't just listen to any old body. Bro, what? You ain't just anybody. So why are you listening to just anybody? Nah. David faced people who tried to stop him from facing Goliath, who tried to convince him that he was less than, that he was too this, he was too that, he was too this. He wasn't old enough, he wasn't strong enough, he wasn't this enough, he wasn't that enough. They were all incorrect. Because in God's eyes, he was more than enough. So don't listen to people who try to convince you that you're less than enough. When Jesus thinks highly of you. For I know the thoughts that I think of you. Jeremiah 29:11. This is why. For me, King James Version or New King James, for I know the thoughts, not the plans. That's in a later version, the thoughts. God thinks highly of you. And based upon the thoughts that he has of you, he makes plans for you. God thinks highly of you. So why do you think so lowly of yourself? Why do you think so lowly of yourself? Why have I thought so lowly of myself? Because I've allowed other people to speak bullshit over me that is not aligned with who God has called me to be. You are like David, and you have the power to snatch. Oh. You have the power, baby, to aim at your enemy. Watch them fall at whatever has been trying to stop you from fulfilling what God has called you to fulfill, whatever has been trying to stop you from becoming who God has called you to become. You have the power to cast it down, to walk up on it the same way David did, to use his own sword against it, to kill it, and to behead it and cut it off and to dead it right there. Whatever that vice is, whatever that addiction is, whatever it is, and I'm also speaking over myself as well. in terms of turning to the ways of this world to cope with traumas and things that had happened to me in the past, because I didn't know how to do it in healthy ways. Turn into liquor, turn into drinking, turn into smoking, turn into getting high, turn into tobacco, bro. What? Turn into everything else except for God. When God has been calling me the whole time, you've been turning to other people, you've been turning to so many other things except for the one person, the one being. In terms of just Trinity, the 3 in 1, whom indeed gives you the power to overcome all of the things that have been trying to stop you. Girl, man, whomever is watching this video, you have the power inside of you. You need to stop listening to the wrong people, because they're going to keep talking, trying to convince you. You got to stop listening to certain thoughts. Lord. Your Goliath could be your thoughts. As Lord, I've experienced a Goliath within my own thoughts. Of battling depression for over 10 years. Of suicidal thoughts leading to self-harm since middle school. Goliaths that you can cast down in Jesus' name. Because the thing is, David makes it very clear why he's going to defeat Goliath. And David wasn't boastful. David wasn't like, oh, yo, I murked me a whole lion and a whole bear myself. Me, I did all that. Me, I did that. No. He made it very clear, the Lord gave me the strength to do that. The Lord was there for me. The Lord gave me the ability to do that. And guess what? The Lord is gonna deliver the enemy's head to me. So listen here, bro. David and Goliath finally they finally link up. They see each other, right? They finna fight. I was finna get on and popping, right? Listen here. It's a little hot. Let me see where we're at. I was actually trying to find the New King James version of it. Here we go. Whew, Lord. So, you remember when I said Goliath had a bodyguard? He was his shield holder. He bore Goliath's shield, right? So, Goliath had all this armor on. He had 3 weapons, bro. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And he had a bodyguard. He had someone who went before him and bore his shield for him. So that means anybody who ever fought Goliath before didn't just have to fight Goliath. They had to fight the dude who was in front of Goliath, holding his shield. They had to get through him just to get to Goliath. So that's why I say Goliath also, for another reason, wasn't even that big and bad, because he was the champion of his people. So that means, let me tell you something. When David walked up to, when David was approaching Goliath was like, hey, yo, am I a dog that you would send this little jit, that you would send somebody so lowly with sticks, with his little slingshots? Bro, what is this, dude? Oh, man, y'all tripping, dog. Wow. Hey, yo, he dismissed the dude. He dismissed the man who was carrying the shield for him. And it's all in the text. Like I said, 1 Samuel 17, chapter 1 through 58. So when Goliath, big and bad, right, saw David walking up, it's like, yo, wow. Probably started laughing. Like, whoa, boy, okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't even need you no more. I don't need a shield. You can just go. But it wasn't until he saw who the opponent would be. So let me tell you something. That means Goliath has fought with his bodyguard. I'm going to just keep calling him the bodyguard, because essentially He was a bodyguard. For whatever reason, Goliath needed a bodyguard. You ain't big and bad if you need a freaking bodyguard. Let's just be straight up. Especially if you're supposed to be Goliath. Like, what you need a bodyguard for, bro? That's a little strange. Bodyguard? Come on, man. So that means in all the other fights before David, Goliath used that bodyguard, because it wasn't until after he saw what he deemed as a lowly opponent, a lesser opponent, somebody who he could just step on, no problem. It wasn't until then he dismissed his bodyguard. He was like, oh, snap, it's just a little kid. All right, bodyguard, I don't need you. You can go take 5. Take a break. Take a break. Go take a break. Goliath really, bro, what? It's that illusion. It's that illusion. Which is a distorted, oh Lord, it's a distortion of your senses. It's a distorted way of thinking. It's a distorted way of seeing. The enemy will try to distort your thinking and make the problem, make your circumstances seem way, 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 way more bigger, way, way, way more jacked up than it may actually be. Like straight up. David made it very clear, bro. David made it. Ooh, David. David made it very clear. David said to the Philistine, verse 45, thou comest to me with a sword. That's that weapon. So you come to me with a sword and a spear and with the shield, right? But I come to thee in the name of the Lord. David said, you coming to me with all that. Who? This is what I mean by who really that guy, who really that girl, who really ain't, who really is and who really ain't, who really is and who really ain't, who really is and who really ain't in this situation, y'all. Because it seemed like the whole time that Goliath really was, he never was. He was never that guy. He was never that. He was never that. And David saw that from the jump, to where he was like, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Like, who is this nigga? Oh, Lord. Is what it is. Like, straight up, who is this? What? Like, for real? What's that playing with me? And it's crazy because they almost had similar parallel reactions when they saw each other. Because you remember when Goliath saw David, he was like, am I a dog? Like, who did y'all just send to me? This little kid, this little 12, 13-year-old, however old he was, this is who y'all sent to me? But David already knew what was up. Because David was already like, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Let me go handle him real quick. Because I know I can. With the Lord, I know I can. It's no doubts. It was not one doubt in David's mind. He knew he could with the Lord. With the power that the Lord would give, he knew it. Y'all, a lot of us know it. And a lot of us feel it. But because of the circumstances, because we keep looking at the Goliaths that seem, like I said, an illusion to seem so huge and so big and so jacked up, that we get caught up and we end up getting fearful because set your sights on God. Your focus needs to be on whom gives you your strength. Your focus needs to be on your source, not necessarily on your problem. Because you're going to be able to off that Goliath. But you need to be fully tapped in, just how David was, in this word, in order to defeat your Goliaths. Because you got the power to do so. You got the power to do so. And you've always had the power to do so. It's a matter of developing that day by day and not allowing the enemy to continuously pop off at the mouth. And if they do, and if for whatever reason you can't get away from the people who constantly talk negativity over you. You need to learn how to silence them out. You got to. You got to silence out the bull crap that they talking. Because they ain't talking about nothing worth hearing. That talk ain't gonna do nothing but discourage you over time. The same way it constantly discouraged all the men in the army. For 40 days straight, Goliath kept taunting them and tormented them with words saying, you know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all gonna be our slaves. I'm gonna own you. I own you already, as a matter of fact. None of y'all can step to me. Like, what? Whatever it is in your life that's been talking to you like that, you need to dead that type of, oh Lord. You got to defeat that, baby. Because you got the power to do that. Woo! My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Anyway, David said, you come to me with the sword, with the spear, and with the javelin. See, the difference is in the text even, because this is the King James Version, which says the sword, the spear, and the shield. And then this says the sword, the spear, and the javelin. Hey. Whew. But then David says, I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, and God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you and take your head from you. Whew. You want to talk about speaking power and the power of your tongue? You need to start talking to your Goliaths like David. It's time to start talking like David. It's time to start speaking. Not like Goliath, because he's talking outside his neck, shouting. It's time to start speaking and declaring your power and your victory. The same way David did. And you need to let it be known that it ain't of your own strength. It ain't of your own might. I promise you, it ain't from my own strength that I overcame the things that I done been through. It was because the Lord got me through that and delivered me from it. In times where the devil shown up had me convinced that I would die in my sin, that I would die in my wilderness, and I should just fucking kill myself. Because what is the point if if this is how it's gonna end? Talk. Stop allowing the enemy to keep talking out the side of his neck. At some point, y'all. At some point, you gotta get tired of hearing that shit. You gotta get tired of hearing it and declare that it is a lie, Lord. That it is not the truth, and that your story will not end in your sorrow. It will not end in your hurt. It will not end in your trauma. It will not end in your depression. It will not end. It will not end in the sins that you've been facing. It will not. Your story is not going to end that way. You need to speak up for yourself. You need to speak up for yourself. 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 Literally. And let the enemy know. Let it be known. No, baby, I hear you talking. Like David heard that. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But I know it ain't true, shawty. I know it ain't true. So I ain't even stunting what you talking about. I ain't stunting that. I ain't stunting it because I know it ain't true. Stop stunting it. You know it ain't. Let it be known. Like, hey, bro, shut up. Like, for real. It's time to shut them up. It's time to shut them up. God gave you what you need. You already got it. It's time for you to use it. David didn't need no fancy armor. David didn't need all the stuff that Goliath did. Goliath needed all that because he wasn't all that. Goliath needed all that. Because he wasn't that. David was that. David had the Lord, and that's all David needed. Like, straight up. This man tried on and rejected the king's armor. Like the armor of the king. You know how nice that had to be? Like, for real. And he put it on, and he was like, this hasn't been tested. Literally. Verse 39. And David girded his sword upon his armor. And he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said to Saul, I cannot go with these. I can't go with these. I can't use these. For I have not proved them, for they have not been tested. I don't know if this is going to hold. I don't know if this is going to work. But one thing I do know, one thing I know for sure, one thing I know for sure is that God got me. God got me. This armor don't got me. This armor don't got me. This worldly armor don't got me. The armor of man don't got me the way that God got me. He rejected the armor of man. He rejected the armor of a king because he knew that the armor of God was the only armor that he needed. Straight up. David took that off. He literally took it off. He put out his staff. He put his staff in his hand. And he looked down. He picked up 5 stones. So he was like, hey, let me see. Oh, snap, there go another one. Yeah. Put them in his pocket. He put them in his shepherd bag. He put them in a pouch. And was like, you know what? Yeah, this is it. This is all I need. Can you imagine how the king was probably looking at that man? Like, bruh, I offered this little jit full-blown armor, head to toe, gold, bronze, whatever it was, all nice. You know what I'm saying? Shiny. Ooh. What? And you mean to tell me he took it off? Picked up a stick? Sticks and stones may break your bones. Look at, like, straight up, sticks and stones. David did it with sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. One stone, as a matter of fact, because they only do one. He did it with a stick and a stone. You have the power to use what other people would deem as less than, to cast down giants. All those other soldiers in the army of Israelite had armor on. David didn't. And even with the armor they had on, they were still scared to face Goliath. They were still scared. David's older brothers were scared. But David wasn't. Because David was the one who had God. David was the one who had the Lord. David was the one who knew for sure what it was and what it wasn't. And he wouldn't let the enemy confuse him nor convince him otherwise. It's time to step into the season of your David. And you casting down your Goliaths. In Jesus' name, you will cast down any and every Goliath that will ever cross your path, that will ever dare step to you. Because if you got the Lord with you, shorty, you got everything you need. Because God will equip you. Let it be known that the Lord is the one who gives you that power. Let it be known that God will receive all of the glory, just as David did. You got the power to overcome all of that. Your story will not end in your sin. Your story will not end with you being defeated by the enemy. You will overcome and you will defeat and destroy your Goliaths, and you will cut the head of your Goliaths off, so that whatever that specific vice is, whatever that specific sin is, that will never rise up in your life again. Because you're going to cut it off at the head. Yeah. Yeah. Don't allow other people to convince you that you're incapable of doing what God has already told you that you can do. It's time for you to choose who you're going to listen to. Because faith comes by hearing. It's time for you to choose who you're going to listen. Are you going to listen to the Goliaths out in this world? Who mean no good to any of us? Who only mean harm? Who only, Lord. Are you going to listen to those people? Or are you going to listen to God? And not only the Goliaths, you can't listen to the people who the Goliaths already got to. And what I mean by that is Eliab and his brothers and even the king, Goliath already got to them. Goliath already scared the crap out of all of them. They were already living in defeat. They were already living in fear, a choice that they made. You can't listen to them type of people neither. So therefore, we can't listen to Goliaths, nor can we listen to the people who are afraid of the Goliaths. Because they're going to stop you. They're going to stop you from running up. Boy, baby, David ran up. David ran up. Where's that? Where? Ooh, Lord. Jesus. Lord. Here it is. Verse 48. And I'm going to end on this one. I don't want it to be too long on this one. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose, which was Goliath, and came and drew near to meet David, that David hasted. David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistines. He ran towards them, y'all. While all the other Israelites were scared to come out of their little tents that they would run and flee to whenever Goliath would come out, baby, David wasn't just walking up on when it came time. When it came time, baby, David ran up. Baby, I'm from the South. From the Southeast in Georgia. Born in Decatur, raised in Ellenwood. Baby, run up, get done up. Nut give you buck. Baby, David ran the fuck up. Pardon my French. Oh, Lord. David ran up. It's time to run up. And mind you, to anybody who want to be like, oh gosh, I can't believe she just cussed. How long is this video? That may have been the 4th or 5th cuss word I said. Let me tell you. You see my back? I'm patting it because that's a good job for me. You don't know me, baby. You can't speak on. Anyway, you ain't gotta watch these, baby. You really don't. I can block it. You can block me. I mean, you got many options. You got a plethora of options, baby. You got options. Like straight up. But I know my journey. And me having to learn the power of my tongue and stuff like that. And I ain't perfect. And I'm never gonna claim that. Nor can I ever be. Straight up until I leave this earth to go be with my Lord. But no, for real though, the fact that like, that's only like maybe the 4th or 5th cuss word I said, baby, that's a good job. And I know myself, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't tripping off of none of y'all in a good note. Because I know what I know and you don't. Just how you know what you done been through and what you need to work on within your own self and within your own heart. I can't speak on that. I can't tell you what you're here for. I can't tell you what you need to learn. I can't tell you those things. That's an A-B type of conversation between you and God. God knows what he made you for. God knows what he created you to do on this earth. I don't. Therefore, I can't tell you that. And vice versa, y'all can't tell me what God put me here for. Other than like vague things like, oh, all the children of God are here to spread the gospel and lead people to Christ and spread light. Like stuff like that, okay. A generalization, okay. But specific, and things that are specifically unique and tailored to you and who you are, to the guy who knows every single hair that is on your head, to the guy who knew me before I was in my mama's womb and knew the things that I would have to face and overcome. Baby, God is the only one who know that. God is the only one who was there. God is the only one who was there when I was weeping every night after being raped at 19 and losing my virginity that fucked up way. God is the only one who was there when I was hurting myself. That Lord, that's it. You weren't. Baby, I'm not going to face now one of y'all when it's time for me to leave this earth. Y'all give too much of a freak about what other people think. And I was a victim and a slave to that for so long. I am not anymore. Free yourself from that. Because it ain't doing nothing but holding you back and preventing you from becoming who God has called you to become. Because you too worried about such and such and such and such. Baby, please. You don't answer to such and such and such and such. You're not going to have to face them when it comes time to meet your maker. You're going to have to face your maker. Not nobody else walking this earth who got something to say. Not the people online who always talking out the side of their neck like a Goliath and always got something to say. Talk, burp, but no bite. Stop listening to people like that. Because they ain't got nothing for you. And the thing is, God has everything for you. And it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. It's been waiting for you to go get it. You ain't even got to chase after it. We chase after the things of the world, but baby, we rest in the Lord. You don't have to chase after God. You don't have to chase after the Lord. Because he truly wants you to be there. He will meet you where you at. Call on his name. Y'all don't know the half. I know. And I pray that you overcome your Goliaths and that you truly believe and know that you can. And that you don't have to be stuck or feel worthless or less than because God thinks highly of you. And it's time that we start thinking on things above and not below, that we start thinking the way that God would have us to think. It's our minds. It's in your mind. It's your mind. It's your mind. Pray that the Lord shifts your mind to align with his. Lord, I want to think the way that you think. The things that you think about me, I want to think about me. The way that you see me, I want to see me. I'm tired of seeing myself so lowly. I'm tired of seeing myself as an addict. I'm tired of seeing myself as a depressed person who one day is okay and the next day want to die. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. And I ain't the only one who's tired of that shit, Lord. I ain't the only one. But you got to choose for yourself. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's at the point, God, hey, yo, like, what you gonna do? Either you gonna keep doing the same bull crap that you've been doing that ain't been getting you nowhere? And got you stagnant and stuck in and struggling and even declining and getting worse? Or you can finally let go of everything you've been holding on to. Everything that I've been holding on to, and Lord, give it to God. And know that whatever Goliath may come down my road, God goes before me and is with me and got me. Goliath had that little bodyguard man to hold his shield go before him. Weak, lame, stop man. David had God go before him. David had the Lord walk before him. You got the Lord who's walking before you, who's walking for you, who's walking with you, who will deliver you, who will help you, who will guide you, who will strengthen you, who will give you peace, who will give you rest, who will give you wisdom, who will give you what you need. You gotta speak. It's time to speak up. There's too many people talking about things that's not even worth hearing, because they ain't talking about none but ignorance and stupidity and nonsense. Silence that. Silence this world. And start speaking the truth that God says about you. The truths and the things that God knows about you. Start thinking the way that God thinks about you. And watch your life change. Watch yourself change. Watch you become more and more, day after day, who God has called you to be. And you do it till you can't no more. You do it till your last breath. You do it for the generations who ain't even born yet. You already know how jacked up this world is. Imagine being a little kid nowadays, bro. And if we don't step in, bro, what? Come on, man. Literally think about the generations who gonna be born in 20 years from now, 10 years from now. Because that time is gonna come. Whether I'm still here, whether you still here or not. It is evident there is a war that we have all been born into. And let it be known, the battle is not mine. The battle is the Lord's. Therefore, the Lord is going to equip me with what I need. He's going to equip you with what you need to succeed, shall we? That's in Jesus' name. Huh. That's in Jesus' name.